The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Are all in all, the saviors, the protectors, the unifiers, the messiahs, the king of kings, the most loved General Asimi Greater General Abdurrahmani Chiani and Captain Ibrahim Traore have decided to form their own alliance and move out of the gentleman club, as Julius Malema will always refer to these people. There is an organization that these three nations were a member, but they got to a point and said, no, when things have gotten to, they have to move out of the gentleman club and form their own alliance. Yes, that the oppression is too much. Over 400 years, and we are not doing everything possible to free ourselves. And we've always been asking the world to come to the aid of the Africans, seeking for justice. But they realize that the justice that we want, the world will never give. Even nature itself is not fair. Yes, that's why your fingers are not the same. Nature itself is not fair. So before you can have the freedom you are looking for, you should be ready to fight. So these three nations came together and said enough of the oppression. So they want to fight for freedom. So you can also belong to the system that these people have created and fight them, because they have designed the systems and they know how the systems work. They decided to move out of the systems. And the gentleman club didn't understand why they should move out. They were calling them to come back to slavery, and they said, we can never be slaves now. This is too much now. How can a king be living as a slave? It is not possible. Our forefathers fought and sacrificed their lives to get us the freedom that we claim we have. And instead of us to help them continue from where they stopped, we are sleeping, and Yellow Popo is doing everything possible to continue with the legacy of their forefathers. It is not possible. Thomas Sankara, Nkrumah, Mandela, Muammar Gaddafi, Lumumba, and the rest can sacrifice their lives for nothing. So we have to also rise up and continue from where our forefathers stopped. And others said they didn't understand. But these people just said no. After creating their flag. So after everything, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso said, we can't just build this bank and it will just be there for nothing. It is not for decoration. That building is not for decoration. So we are coming with our own currency. Yes. ECOWAS had decided that for decades they want to give us ECO, but France rose up and said, for what? What do you mean by ECO? France was the same person who was giving what have you to Benin and Ivory Coast, according to our all in us, to go and fight them.
Sharing, celebrating life together. But one day a great misunderstanding turned them into enemies. The bridge that once connected them was burned down, and for decades they remained divided. But one day a wise leader arrived. He did not come with weapons. He did not demand obedience. He came with only a single message. We must rebuild the bridge, not because we are weak, but because we are stronger together today. History repeats itself. In the heart of West Africa, two great forces, ECOWAS and the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, stand at a crossroads. Their paths once ran together, but mistrust and differences have led them apart. Now President John Dramani Mahama stands at the riverbank, not with force, but with wisdom, calling for a bridge to be rebuilt. Mahama's message is simple, yet profound. Without trust, there can be no respect. Without respect, there can be no unity. He recognizes the AES as a reality, not a mistake, not a temporary storm, but a permanent part of the region's future. Instead of demanding, he seeks dialogue. Instead of confrontation, he offers cooperation. But how does one restore trust when it has been broken? Let me share another story with you. There was once a potter who had a favorite pot, a beautiful, strong, and reliable vessel. But one day it cracked. The villagers told him to throw it away, that it was useless now. But the potter smiled and said, "A crack is not the end. It is a sign that something new must begin." He did not throw the pot away. He filled the cracks with gold, making it more valuable than before. The pot was not broken, it was reborn. This is what trust is like. It can crack, but it does not have to be discarded. It can be restored with patience, understanding, and a willingness to mend. President Mahama understands this. His visit to Mali was not about politics. It was about gold in the cracks, about mending what was once broken. And so, my friends, this is the lesson. Leadership is not about control, it is about connection. Trust is not about words but actions. If we want unity, we must first offer respect. If we want peace, we must build bridges, not burn them. So I ask you in your own life, where is your broken pot? Where is the bridge that needs rebuilding? Perhaps a friend, a colleague, a family member? Like Muhammad, like the potter, we all have the power to heal if we choose wisdom over pride, dialogue over division. If this story has touched your heart, take a moment to reflect. Share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you need to rebuild trust with? And if you believe in the power of wisdom, unity, and leadership, don't forget to like and subscribe. Together, let's build bridges. One Africa, one love. To understand the weight of this moment, we must understand the wound that caused the fracture. AES leaders believe ECOWAS is no longer a union for Africa, but a tool of Western influence. France, the United States, global powers that, according to AES, have shaped the region's politics for their own interests. To them, ECOWAS is not a protector, but a gatekeeper, ensuring that African nations never truly escape the grip of foreign influence. And so, they left. But the question remains, was this departure an act of true sovereignty, or a dangerous step into isolation? And can trust, once broken, ever be fully repaired? There is an old African proverb that says, "A rope once broken may be tied again, but the knot will remain." Trust is like that rope. When it breaks, you can try to mend it, but the scar remains. The leaders of AES believe ECOWAS betrayed them, choosing foreign approval over African unity. ECOWAS believes AES has abandoned its brothers, risking chaos instead of cooperation. And so, the rope lies broken. But Ghana, standing between these two forces, is reaching out, not with demands, but with patience. Muhammad's message is clear. Before we speak of reunification, we must first speak of respect. Only when trust is rebuilt can the conversation of unity even begin. The truth is, no one knows how this story will end. Will AES and ECOWAS find common ground? Or will they continue on separate paths forever suspicious of the other? History has shown us that divisions, once formed, rarely heal quickly. Trust is not rebuilt in speeches, but in actions. If ECOWAS wants AES to return, it must prove that it is not a tool of foreign powers, but a union that truly fights for Africa. And if AES wants true sovereignty, it must show that it can stand strong without closing the door to its neighbors. The rope has been broken, but will it remain severed or will it be tied again? That, my friends, only time will tell. One by one, AES has broken the chains of dependency. It has done what many thought impossible, a single passport. No longer will citizens of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger be divided by colonial-era borders. They will move as one people, a joint army. No longer will they rely on forces that serve outside interests. They will defend themselves by themselves. A common flag, a symbol not of separation, but of unity, a statement to the world. We are here, and we are sovereign. And now the most daring move of all, the creation of the AES digital currency. For decades, African nations have depended on foreign currencies, dollars, euros, CFA francs. But dependency is not sovereignty. And so, AES has taken its boldest step yet, the launch of its own digital currency, a currency designed not to be controlled by former colonial powers, but by Africans themselves. Blockchain, security, and transparency to prevent corruption, ensure trust, and make sure no outside force can manipulate its value. Cross-border payment solutions, making it easier for businesses, traders, and everyday people to send money without relying on Western banks. This is more than technology. This is independence. There is an old story of an eagle born in captivity. For years it lived in a cage, fed by the hand of its keeper. It grew strong, its wings powerful, but it never learned to fly. Then one day the cage door opened. The eagle stepped out, looked at the sky, but it hesitated. It had been controlled for so long, it had forgotten what it meant to be free. But then, a strong wind blew, and for the first time, the eagle spread its wings and soared. AES is that eagle. It has stepped out of the cage of economic control. The question is, will it fly? Or will fear make it return to the comfort of its old chains? ECOWAS did not expect this. It assumed AES would struggle, that it would lack the expertise, the resources, the unity to build something of its own. But now it watches as AES moves forward without hesitation. The question now is not whether AES will succeed. The question is, will ECOWAS follow? Because if AES proves that Africa can stand without the West's economic systems, other nations will begin to question their own chains. And then, the balance of power will shift forever. The road ahead is uncertain. Some say AES is moving too fast, that it will face resistance, that the world will not allow it to succeed. Others say this is only the beginning, that once the first chains are broken, more will follow. One thing is certain, Africa stands at a crossroads. Will it continue to be shaped by others, or will it shape itself? The eagle has left the cage. Now all that remains is to see if it will fly. And now I ask you, do you believe Africa is ready for this step? Will AES succeed where others have failed? Or is true independence still a dream? Let's talk. Share your thoughts in the comments. This is not just a story for today, this is history in the making. If you believe in Africa's future, in its right to control its own destiny, then let's keep this conversation going. Like this video, share it, and subscribe for more stories that make us think, reflect, and grow.
And this is the same nation who was the one who rose up against ECOWAS, bringing out the common currency called ECO. And for decades, we are not seeing ECO. We only see ECO on paper, how beautifully it was designed. But Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso is saying it's not going to be so. You can't be sovereign yet people determines your destiny. You can't be controlled by people when you claim you have independence. So if truly you are independent, you should be able to put your own systems, your laws, your constitutions, everything of yours should be coming from you. Like Nkrumah said, that political independence without economic independence is meaningless. And that is what Africa is facing. You say you have, even the political independence, Africans, we don't have it. Because at the end of every elections, these people have to sit down and tell us who should become the leader. Even during the process of these elections, they have to tell us everything that they think is good, what is bad. They have the final say before we can even declare our elections and say who has won. And anybody that will win in Africa must align in the interest of Yolo Popo. If not, you can't be a leader. It is not possible. They will never allow you to become a leader who will be against them. And that is why they are doing everything possible for Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso to go back to constitutional rules so that they can have these people and be manipulating. But that one is not going to happen. After all, these people decided that these leaders should continue to lead them for 5 good years. And this, they are going to rule forever now. And there is nothing like any model that Africans we need to follow. It's because we are following the models of these people. That is why Africa to date, we are not able to move forward. And even the common currency our forefathers and Nkrumah and Co fought and sacrificed their lives for. To date, Africans still can't have their own currency because the West and America are fighting us in every aspect. These people determine the kind of people we should align with, what we should do. Even the things that are against the culture of the black person, they impose them on us because African leaders portray themselves to be poor. And these people are the ones feeding you, giving you aid, giving you money. So they control you. And that's why when they bring things, they'll tell you, if you don't accept this, we'll do this to you. But what they are doing to you, they can never go to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso and be doing that. Those who claim they're economic giant in Africa, even what they are doing to you, they can never go to Mali, Niger, and Burkina and be doing that. That's why we are saying sovereignty. Africans, we are still not sovereign. And that is why Captain Ibrahim Traore will always tell you to stop accepting these assistance from these people, because these are the tools they are using to suppress we the Africans. If we are able to unite under one umbrella, one leadership, one army, one currency, these people wouldn't have any other avenue to penetrate and use us for their own benefit. So AES is coming out with their own currency, and the ECOWAS is shocked too. The moment they mentioned that, I posted a video and I told you, when they heard that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, when he launched his bank, the central bank, quickly ECOWAS came and said they want to launch their ECO. And from then, We have not heard anything. From then, ECOWAS hasn't said anything concerning the ECO again. So the moment they hear that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing something, then they come out and say they are also doing something. But that shouldn't be the case. We are not in competition with ourselves. We are only saying that we should unite and do the right thing to move the continent ahead. We shouldn't be doing things because we've seen that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are. For them, they are not talkers. Before they will say they will do something, they have already done it. But you will come and be singing national anthem for 19 Kodeho. Now we've even lost trust in anything that this gentleman club you say. You know that the youth we've all moved to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso because they are not doing the talking. They are doing action. We see action. We are in the world of action. That's why whatsoever Donald Trump is saying, he will not just tell you, I'm giving you tariff, and that ends it. He will implement the tariff on you. He will declare it and make sure that he signs it into order. But Africa, we only talk, we don't back it with action. And we want to move forward. It is not possible. Africa, we can't do that. And ECOWAS, you should understand that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are not your rivals. They are your brothers. They are only doing the things that you have failed to do. So don't be doing things or say you will do things when you see that they are doing something. This is the time that we have to all come together. If we see our brothers doing the right thing, let's put the pride aside and join hands together. And that was why Nkrumah was moving from everywhere. That was why Gaddafi was also moving from everywhere to unite Africans. We need to unite. Because when we unite and we understand ourselves, that's when we can come together and work for the good of the continent. Now we still don't understand why Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso should be doing things that we are not doing. But what they are doing is supposed to be the thing that we're supposed to be doing. But because we have decided to be corrupted, we are seeing what they are doing to be against us. But nobody is against you. We have to come together as a people, live together as a people, and work together, decolonize ourselves. All the borders and the division these people created, we have to do away with them. And we not ask for all in us. They are not just talkers like you. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, he said he's not a politician, he's a military man. That's why he will not only talk, he will do it with action now. So, we are going to see our currency, AES currency. We have to start getting our passports and move there very soon. We have to all move to AES and leave these people, because we cannot live together with a gentleman club that are not doing everything possible to champion the agenda of Africa. Long live Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Long live Abdurrahmani Chiani, Assimi Goita, and Ibrahim Traore. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.